Hello everyone, myself Tushar, and in this video I'm going to talk about React Native, Flutter and stock development using Android and Xcode. So in this video I will let you know that which thing you should prefer to learn as a beginner, or if you are an intermediate and you want to switch to other like Android Studio, that how to create apps using Android Studio Java, then you want to move to React Native or Flutter and anything like that. So in this video I've cleared your concepts about what you should prefer and what are the benefits of each of them and what are the demerits of each of them. So let's get started. There's a lot of things to learn from this video, so let's get started. So here, firstly I talk about React Native. The reason why I pick React Native as the first number is that it is more older than the Flutter. uh, Actually it is around 4 years old. I was just saying the release date, it is 26 March 2015, the first release date. Actually React Native was an internal project by Facebook. uh, those Facebook people are just frustrated with the stock development, because you know that the Facebook app and the Instagram are two big apps, while if you have worked on the stock development then it takes hours upon hours for just compiling a short code, and they want something like quick, like a snap, like the Thanos. So what they did, they created a system or a framework that is React Native, because they are already having React.Js as well. So they used the React.Js and they created React Native. So what React Native means, that you have the skills of React.Js, like those React.Js developers working at the Facebook. So they find out a way to create single code base for Android and iOS. And the best thing about React Native that it has hot restart and hot reload, which means so whenever you save the code it just updates immediately. Few people think that React Native, in React Native we use HTML, CSS and JavaScript. People think that it's kind of a web view which appears on an app. Actually not. It's not like that. It's the native app which is going to be shown on your screens. In a similar way, around I think I got the date. Yeah, initial release of the Flutter was in May 2017, which was around 2 years. So Flutter came with the idea of cross-platform application development, not just mobiles, not just web. It also covers the embedded systems as well, like IoT. Recently I saw a conference about IoT using Flutter and all that. So I think Flutter is a little bit better for that. The reason behind what I think why Flutter is better than React Native, that most of the iOS users maybe get frustrated with the basic design of iOS, like those white buttons and all that. So React Native, what React Native does, that if you have an app and you code it using JavaScript, then you got some building blocks like IM image, those tags that you get from the React Native library using npm. So in which what happens, that the compiler sees your code, yes this is the code, and checks the platform, yes this is Android, then it's going to convert that button into a material button, that the style for Android, and while for the iOS it just converts it to iOS style button, like the blue color and the white background. So this is how React Native works. Sometimes this thing is better, because while using the iOS users are also satisfied with this thing, that yes they have the similar look that all iOS apps have, and the Android users are also satisfied because they have the similar look that all other apps have, and those were coded from just a single code base. But the problem creates when you are trying something like snack bar. Now snack bar is only available for Android and that is not for iOS. So at this place you again going to diverge. You cannot stay on the single code based system, because you're going to create something using the Android Studio, going to go back to the stack one. So that's the demerit of React Native, as I think. Because, and the other thing is that Facebook is not too serious maybe about React Native, or Facebook is actually just letting the community to do all the things, or maybe that they are working internally and they are not making it open source for everyone. Because I think most of those, like I was working with some calendar view and some that then what happens that it gets depreciated whenever a new version released, and the solution for that is not updated. Like I use the shared preferences, then the code for that is deprecated and the Facebook says try to get that with the community. So I didn't like that thing with my. Whereas in the Flutter you have no problem at all with these things. The community also works very well, and the Google also take care of everything that they have. Okay, and that doesn't mean that Google forces his own code, like you don't need to use the community, you just use our code. Google says yes, if the community's code is better, then you can use that. So that's why I like Flutter. The another reason I like Flutter because its future is really amazing. The reason behind that, the Flutter is focused not just for mobile, it's for everything you can think of. Like it's IoT, it's embedded, it's mobile, it's web, it's desktop. Yes, you can create desktop apps with Flutter as well. Because Google is focusing on a new OS, like you know about Android OS by Google. Google is focusing on a new OS that is Google Fuchsia, and if you don't heard about it, then you can just go onto the YouTube and search more videos about that. So Google Fuchsia is an OS which is available for all the devices, whether it's mobile, TV, a desktop, and all that. Right? As of now, you cannot see Android as desktop. So Google Fuchsia is just about that thing, and I believe that Flutter is going to be the main stack for developing apps for the Fuchsia OS. This was the thing about the Flutter. Now what about the stock? Stock is the best way you can create Android or iOS applications. The reason behind it is whenever something new rolls out, it doesn't get in with the Flutter or with the React Native. The reason being that like Android 10 is recently being developed, and you will get a video soon about that. So what happens with the Flutter? Like if I want to create a game, then I cannot do that in Flutter or whether in React Native, because these both stacks are just for creating 2D applications. Whereas by Android Studio I can create games. The most games you see are developed using Android Studio and NDK as well. So this was the thing with the Flutter and React Native. Another thing, like if I want to apply the widgets on the screen, not the Flutter widgets, I'm saying that Android widgets that you see on your home screen, if I'm going to create that I cannot create using Flutter or React Native. I'm going to go for the other things like Android, stock Android. So this is the way I don't like any of those much. Everything has its own merits and demerits. But as of now, if you focus more on 2D applications, you doesn't care about the widgets, then Flutter is a better option than React Native in case you want the similar look to both Android and iOS, rather than having different looks for Android and iOS using React Native. Because in Flutter you can create super cool and super amazing beautiful apps. I don't know why that they focused really upon creating beautiful applications, because actually it is important that if I am using an app and it's not beautiful, then how over millions of apps on the Play Store and App Store I can find they can cover my home screen. So this is the thing, and I think I would surely create a new video on Flutter, that how you can get started, and maybe I'm going to create a series about that creating a hands-on project on Flutter. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.